It's a pleasure to bring back to the show the unofficial political science professor of the state of Texas, who I found out in an interview with Davis this week that he's been there like forever, back to the days when it wasn't called UT Arlington. It was like the Arlington School of Cosmetology and Truck Driving School. I mean, way back then. Dr. Alan Saxe joining us on 710 KURV. How you doing, Dr. Saxe?
You're exactly right. It was the Arlington School of Cosmetology and Baking.
And baking as well, yeah. Why did they need a political science professor back then? That's what I want to know. Why did they need a political science department back then?
By the way, every university in America just about had a similar name.
That's true. At some point, it's available. Okay, so Wendy Davis is running for governor on the Dem side. And,
right.
you know, at one time I thought she has a snowball's chance in Valley heat to survive. But, you know, with the latest Lyceum poll, 29% for Abbott and 20% for her, with 50% saying, I don't know. How is it possible that 50% say, I don't know how I'm going to vote for governor?
That's a great question. Greg Abbott is not that well known. He doesn't have that great name recognition. He has a lot of money in his campaign chest already, but money is not going to do it. You've got to have a certain amount of money, as you know, no question about it, just to get up to the threshold. And that's going to buy you a lot of television time and things like that, and television, political ads, I guess they call it, and you need that. But this is going to be a different kind of a campaign. The demographics of Texas have changed dramatically. A lot of people are saying, 3 or 4 years down the road. Not true. The demographics are already here. And what Senator Davis's campaign is going to try to do, and she's having a big opening press conference today, announcing, I think, her candidacy. She's going to have the money. President Obama's campaign is going to help her, and she's going to reach out to the same people that President Obama took in his election as far as voters, and that is she's going to appeal to minorities. Mm-hmm. She's going to appeal to a lot of younger people, and I see that in my class already. A lot of people that have not voted, they're enthusiastic. They're not sure why, but they're enthusiastic. She is a fairly young, attractive woman, and that does not hurt. She's a good speaker. And the issue of abortion, however, could be the one part that could really hurt her in the campaign.
Yeah, because she could galvanize the young vote, but at the same time, I think she would really, like a lightning rod, would send out the social conservatives and any of those folks that want to defend the unborn.
You are right. That's going to be those were going to be my next words. Is that some of the very groups she's going to try to reach out to, a lot of minority groups and so forth. Many of them are social conservatives, the African-American community, the Hispanic community. Abortion is something that many of them do not care for. And so the Republicans, their main task is to keep that abortion issue tagged to her. She's going to move away from it as much as she can, and she already tried to do that.
She can't, though.
She can. Yes, she can.
She can't.
About education.
The reason she's running...
Alan Saxe. Opponents will try to pigeonhole her on that issue, but Wendy Davis is very, very knowledgeable about education, taxes, a number of other things that the legislature
She will not
deals
be
with.
able to escape the video, though. The reason she's famous is because she stood up in the legislature and deep six the legislation.
If the Republicans are smart and they do it right, and they have not been so smart, especially at the national level in winning elections, as we all know, they have to make sure that they don't beat up on her as a woman. They got to forget about this phrase that's been going around. They call her a Barbie doll. They got to eliminate that and
They've
go after her on abortion.
Started on the wrong foot already with the tweets and whatnot on that.
That's right. And they have to use some of the video of what took place in the special session of the legislature with the crowd screaming and yelling.
Of course, that video can work the other way, too. It could also galvanize a lot of women to say, look at this, look at Wendy Davis stand up and be a leader.
Into it. Abortion is the big issue.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the demographics, Professor Saxe, and those are crucial. The only thing there is these changing demographics. Got to get those people out to vote.
That's right. And that's what she's going to try to do.
With Gilberto Hinojosa from the Valley leading the Democrats.
That's right. He's got his work cut out for him, and if he can galvanize those voters, boy, that's a big bright mark on his record. Serge mentioned a lot of undecided voters here.
That's right.
A lot.
A lot of people don't know either one of them.
Yeah.
They don't know either one of them.
And right now, Abbott with a slight edge among women. with this many undecideds, that could turn around in favor of Wendy Davis.
And Wendy Davis is a very skilled campaigner, and I think, again, she's going to rely on President Obama's campaign. She may deny it, but I think that President Obama's campaign is going to be big in working for her.
She has to get out-of-state money. There's no other way around it.
And I think that's exactly what she's been pledged. Remember, she traveled, I think, to California and to the East Coast, to Washington, about a month or so ago.
Oh, that's right. They'll be raking in the big bucks from
Absolutely.
Madison. Hey, Professor, before I let you go, 30 seconds. Is Greg Abbott vulnerable to the Tea Party rights, Tom Potkin, anyone else running against him as a more, billing himself as more conservative?
I doubt it. Not against Greg Abbott. I don't think there's going to be anybody more conservative. But Greg Abbott, if he's going to win the governor's race, is not going to be a shoe-in, and he has to understand that it's going to be
But at least there'll be plenty of American Airlines U.S. Air money coming in his way from this one. All right. Thank you, Professor. That's Professor Alan Saxe from UT Arlington joining us on 710 KURV.